Basement Bookers Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another very special episode of the Basement Bookers Podcast. This episode, we will talk, of course, and book the finish to the confirmed to be the second best Owen Hart Cup tournament in history. Certainly to be the best one since the last one. With me, as always, my co-host, the brains of the podcast. Hopefully, I don't regret this in the next 5 minutes. Shiniest of all, Rich Deriz, everybody. Welcome, Rich Deriz, to the Basement Bookers Podcast. We're happy to have you here today. And we are going to talk about, as mentioned, the AEW Wrestling, Rich Deriz. We're going to talk about some Raw goings and possibly reference and speak of what are the best matches all week. And you're never going to believe what program it happened to air on. You out there, you're never going to believe it. You probably believe it if you're watching this week. You're going to believe it. But you're not going to believe that we're talking about it here, right here on the Basement Bookers Podcast, Rich Perez. Take it away.
All right, that was a lot there. One thing, like speaking about Raw, I feel like the show Raw and NXT were both pretty Judgment Day heavy this week. What do you think?
Well, I think, Rich, there is that the Judgment Day is here to stay. Also, play. From what I understand currently, I think the plan is for them to reoccur on NXT TV, so maybe they'll be back there Tuesday. If Dominic Mysterio were to become the North American champion, I would not be upset with that. Honestly, I think it's the best thing that you could do for NXT right now. Why? Am I getting something wrong?
No, I don't think
You
so.
just all right. I'm just making sure I'm not hallucinating what I'm talking about.
I'm actually sitting here trying Wesley.
Visualize.
Okay. Yeah, no.
Wesley, I'll fight everyone.
Yeah.
I'm over at the urinal. Not Wesley Blake.
Right. Not Wesley Blake, who may or may not also be at a urinal. Probably not the same urinal.
He might be right now.
He might be.
You know, listening to his favorite Basement Bookers podcast, this one.
And there he is. He's like, can they see me?
I can see you, and we're impressed. So otherwise, speaking, so yeah, definitely Wesley, you know, he'll fight anybody and he's going to bite off more than he can chew. Cause even if he could, like, I hear Dom is dirty. I hear he's dirty Dom now. I'm not sure if there's a reason for that. I think maybe that's between him and his mother and Rhea Ripley. So let's just let them handle that. That's none of our business. That's none of our business.
That's right. Yeah, Finn and Priest getting the win this week with the coup de grace following the South of Heaven for the 1, 2, 3.
Look, it's the Judgment Day. Finn Balor has been the first Universal Champion. He will definitely tell you about it. He's not afraid to talk about it. It still haunts him to this very day. That day. But he'll be safe if he goes to AEW because you can't get buckle bombed in AEW anymore.
Not anymore.
And we'll talk about that later.
That we will.
So the Monday stuff, from what I can remember, also very Judgment Day heavy. Everybody's cool. We're all cool here. We're all fine. I don't think we're all cool here. I don't think we're all fine. There's definitely something there. And I still don't get how you can't just, you're supposed to be like this tight-knit unit, this family, but you can't get past this whole, like, this money in the bank thing. It seems like an easy strategy to me. Easy strategery. Like, let Finn Balor win the belt. And, you know, like I said before, you could go after whatever, or you could just be the insurance policy. You can't beat both of you. Finn Balor gets his shot. All right. He couldn't beat Finn Balor. Finn Balor couldn't beat Seth Rollins. Fair. So now it's Damian Priest's turn. It just so happens to be right after, but they only have to be fair to each other. They don't have to be fair to Seth Rollins. That's how it works.
That's right.
What's so hard about that?
Or if Finn does beat Seth for the title at some point in the future, Finn holds the belt, and then something happens. Maybe Finn loses the title. Priest attacks the guy that just beat him for it, and then Priest cashes in and takes the title back to Judgment Day.
I feel like that's too much of a happy ending for a heel faction. You know what I mean? Like that would be great. That's something to me that could work.
Right, but that could also be the beginning of a thread being pulled
But
of
the thread's
dissension.
already there
Right,
because they
the way they've
couldn't
been
even
doing it.
on Monday. Yeah, like it's already there.
Hmm.
So we already have a peek into how at least these two guys are working on this. Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Like I don't
Hmm.
know which one's more. I feel like as a veteran, Finn Balor should be more intelligent about this,
Hmm.
but it just shows that he really doesn't trust Damian Priest as much as he says he does.
Right, and I think even though the faction is about the four of them and not any one of them, I think he's a little bothered that he's getting less spotlight now that Damian Priest has the briefcase,
Yeah.
which of course
Um,
contains a contract.
a contract for any championship,
Right?
and it's also a weapon.
Indeed. Very good one.
It's been very effective.
Who was it? Mrs. I remember before they were doing sort of the custom briefcases, Mrs. got really beat up.
Yeah, he's had a lot of run-ins
Hmm.
with it. Sometimes, I believe, hit with his own briefcase. I believe maybe,
Oh, these things happen.
but Damian Sandow had the chocolate. Was he him who had the chocolate one?
It was.
It looked like chocolate.
Hmm. What had
um,
happened? Someone threw it into the river, and then they had to give him like a replacement.
Something like that. That's too long ago for me. Like,
It's a
it's
long
be
time ago.
happy with the fact that I remember the chocolate briefcase.
Well, the chocolate briefcase you can't forget. It's
You
the
can't
only
forget
one
it.
that's truly different.
Yeah, it's got much flavor. I would say the original also. It's just a
Just the black. Hmm.
yeah, black case,
Hmm.
before it got all fancy with its own logo. That's how you know you sold out. Oh, you got your own logo on it, man.
Hmm.
You changed briefcase. You used to just be a regular briefcase that they bought. Now what are you? Your product. Your merch. You're at the merch stand selling yourself.
Fame just
Unbelievable.
fame just went straight to his handle.
Prostitution. All right. So, speaking of, moving on. Definitely not going to do that. But this finished with a triple three-man match, tag team triple threat, six-man tag match, as it's called, as is custom,
Hmm.
plus two. It was the Sammy KO boys
Hmm.
and the Road Star, and this is where that happened. And I heard from the dirtiest of sheets that there was a backstage kerfuffle between the two teams. Basically, like there was mistiming in the match or something, or maybe it didn't go well as they thought it would, or whatever, or
Hmm.
something. But it doesn't sound like an all out thing, like a
Ah.
brawl out thing. It's just like some professionals who like really like whatever they do professionally, and
Hmm.
they're like having a disagreement over it.
Hmm.
Okay, so moving down I don't even know because I know that SmackDown was in North Carolina,
Mm.
which is apparently why Zelina Vega was doing some Hardy stuff. She's like, you don't
Mm.
go to Carolina without doing a twist of fate, or whatever. But like that's pretty cool.
Hmm.
Uh Big
Flair
fan.
country.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I guess that you brought it up. Instead of going down to Jacksonville, we don't know where they are right now. Charlotte Flair showed up today, which was yesterday, Friday. Um, and for the record, as a reminder for everybody, this is great. Basement Booker's information exclusive to you guys from your boys, also your friends on Fox during the show. FS1 next week. Snack down. Put your snack down. Get on the calendar. Pull out your Palm Pilot if you still got one. Pull out your phone, your A phone, your iPhone, your B phone, whatever phone, and mark it down. FS1 is, and they've loaded FS1. They're like, you don't want to miss this because not only are we going to have set the rules of engagement, we got a number one, or is that Monday Night Raw? They're doing the number one. They're doing a number one contenders match for the United States Championship now. It should be between LA Knight and Santos. Not Santos. Yeah.
Yeah, Santos just won. I was surprised, honestly.
I thought with everybody there that it wasn't gonna be, but if it is him, he's not gonna win.
Yeah.
I don't see them taking off I would love it if they took the belt off Theory and gave it to LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
He would be so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like we said, Vince McMahon, he beat his John Cena too much. It just happened to get chapped on the Theory tab. So now you've got all that imagery. If you know, you know. So you can't believe it, right? I did it. I freaking did it. I freaking did it, dude. I did it.
I don't know how you put these images in my head like that.
I don't know. It's like a gift. Some might say it's a curse.
It's a curse.
I'm
cursed.
From a certain point of view, you are cursed, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right.
But on that topic, I will thank you for letting me know in advance that the true main event of Dynamite this week was Ruby Soho versus Sky Blue.
Rich the Riz, I need to talk to you something to everybody here about women's wrestling is back. Okay? Women's wrestling is back, and we are never going back to the way things were. No, you can't. You've opened the true forbidden door. The truest forbidden door has been opened this past week on Wednesday Night Dynamite, where Sky Blue put up a valiant effort in a 69.5-star match against Ruby Soho. And you could tell this was important. The way Ruby Soho looked at all of us into our eyes and told us what she did to our favorite. Personally, I am disgusted by the behavior of Ruby Soho and those filthy outcasts. Because were it not for those filthy outcasts, there would have been some clapping in the main event. In the real main event for the Owen Hart Memorial Battle Royal Trophy Cup, brother. We could have had Sky Blue defeat Willow Nightingale. But no. Instead, Ruby Soho is definitely going to beat Willow Nightingale. Nah, she lost. It was Nightingale. Nightingale won. Congratulations. Yeah. And win the Owen Hart Memorial Battle Cup, brother, tournament.
That's right. I hope.
I'm booking it.
To be honest, I could see Tony Khan giving it to Willow, and I would hate him just that much more for it.
Yeah, we could see, because this story is also a part of the story between Ruby Soho and Britt Baker. So if the Nightmare Factory personified, also known as the Outcasts, they get involved, here comes Britt Baker, maybe a returning Jamie Hayter to even up the odds, and then even up the playing field, and that's how Willow Nightingale wins it, if she does. But I really hope it's not her. I hope it's Ruby Soho. It makes sense because of what happened last year. It also solidifies that she should have been a heel the whole time. But whatever. Your thoughts?
I have a question that will generate some thought. And you, Basement Bookiverse, I'd like your thoughts on this as well. But Jer, I'm going to ask you: Are we, you and I, and Bookiverse, answer for yourselves if you want? You know where to find us. Link trees down below. Are we too old to appreciate the plain white meat babyface?
I have my answer.
Are we too
No.
jaded? Are we too cynical? Are we too New York for it?
What are you talking about? Look at Cody. Cody's doing it right now. Like maybe you couldn't have it the way it used to be, but this is the new way. Cody Rhodes, dude. I heard after his dark match on SmackDown, he stayed like a half an hour after his match was over, taking pictures with people and signing autographs and shit. That's babyface stuff right there.
It is. I'm thinking more from the character specific
What do you mean?
perspective.
What qualities does he not get the shirt even? What qualities does he not possess that you think a regular run of the mill white meat babyface had? What is he lacking that doesn't make him that?
So okay,
The fact that he's tough and he's willing to fight.
I think if we compare him and Willow Nightingale, who I was specifically thinking of in this conversation, I think
Oh,
he has
that's a
more of
different character.
right. He has more of a mean streak that can be accessed.
Yeah, but when he has to, you don't think Willow Nightingale has that in her?
Show it to me.
What is it? I think she
I need
says
it.
like smile because nothing matters or something like that. What's her
Yeah,
thing? That's kind of I don't know, man. That's a little depressing. Like I don't
right.
know. I
Because if
get
that's the case, then your smile doesn't matter.
yeah. Why is I don't like I know it gets said here sometimes, but at least with wrestling, it's like sometimes stuff does happen
Hmm.
that really doesn't matter from a story point of view. You know what I mean? Like it matters in that these two, they got in there, they got physical.
Yeah.
But in like a week or two, this isn't a continuing storyline. This guy doesn't have beef with so and so. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like this was done just to do it, or like, look, this is going to look pretty great. Hopefully it's not the case where we see, a tag team meet up with a former heavyweight champion and just drive off together. Maybe that'll be something. We don't know if that's going to be something. All
Hmm.
right. But the usual suspects are sticking their heads out of the woodwork. Like, where's MVP? He doesn't have to be involved in all of it. He doesn't have to be. Sorry, I don't mean to yell. But the point is, we got to stop with the binary here. It's not just ones and zeros. It isn't computers. But sometimes there's like a X, or like a squiggly line or something.
And if you let it, X can give it to you.
We still have the men's version of the Owen Hart Memorial Battle Royal Cup trophy, brother.
Hmm.
The second greatest Owen Hart Cup trophy, brother. Now, there's two things that can happen here. Ricky Starks becomes Mr. Owen Hart in the Cup, which makes sense. You could have the heel female winner and a face winner.
Hmm.
Or what if CM Punk turns heel and wins by turning heel? Because I know I've joked it in my contract. CM Punk can't lose any match, but that was already changed. He did take a pin. So he could technically lose this match. And I think people won't take it well if he did win it. As much as he thinks he's the second coming of Bret the Hitman Hart.
Right.
Who is still alive, by the way.
Yes. Seriously. And has not necessarily given his stamp of approval on this usage of his brother.
Not necessarily. I can't speak to that in case the Hitman's watching. I respect the Hitman. So, we're not pro Goldberg here. Okay? We're so
I'm
he's
sorry.
definitely not.
Right. I'm sorry if that affects the audio, but
Oh no, you're good. Just why'd you do it again? You
just
don't care.
emphasis.
You liar. All right, yeah.
Because I was holding back the first time. It's like,
You
I don't know if this will affect the audio. But then I said, I'm sorry if it does, but
you damn dirty liar. uh, so,
I feel
uh,
like stuff like this should be used to give the young guys the rub. I've said that a lot.
you're all
I
about giving young guys rubs, Rich Riz. We all know. We know you're about
within
that.
within the context of the business, of course, right? I mean, it's what they do on their own time behind their own closed doors. Go for it. Cool, as long as it's consensual.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't need to see it. I don't need to hear about it. It's certainly not what I'm talking about at the moment. What I mean is having the young guy go over on the veteran. Let Starks get this win over Punk.
Okay, so this is gonna be a lot of dunking on CM Punk. Two jabronis talking about Punk. You've been warned.
I
Yeah.
feel like, particularly after Brawl Out and the Gripe Bomb, people soured on Punk. There was a lot of time in between. He had his tricep or bicep surgery, whichever it was. There's speculation, is he come back? Is he not? He came back. He came back in Chicago to huge fanfare, and literally everywhere else they went, it's been half and half. And not like Cena half and half, where they enjoy booing him, and they probably, and maybe some of them don't like him, but Punk is disliked. His star power has been dimmed by the Gripe Bomb and Brawl Out, and the fans aren't having it. There's enough of them, I think, that will be unhappy if he won. Or like maybe Tony Khan is playing 3D chess. Maybe he has him win, has him maybe gloat about it, slow burn to turn heel. I don't know, but it's going to be a wait and see kind of thing. I don't know if TK is that sophisticated a booker to plan something like that, but I feel like the best way to go, have Starks go over, do the handshake, Punk raises his hand, and then whatever. Maybe Punk hits a clothesline and locks him in the Anaconda Vice. Maybe Punk stays face. Maybe we just don't see Punk for a month or two or a year or two or whatever.
Yeah,
Give it to
that
give it to
escalated
Starks.
quickly.
Yeah, give it to Starks. And you remember before he left WWE, I was a huge Punk fan.
We all were.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm only going to speak for myself here. I missed him initially. It was the first couple of years there. It's like, man, if Punk were here. But then, Punk ended UFC. And yes, he lost both matches in both fights in relatively embarrassing fashion. But I
I
will
would say
admit,
spectacular fashion, if I
right.
were.
But most of the people, myself included, that would criticize that would not necessarily put themselves in that scenario.
No, because you start at the bottom.
That's also true.
Like, if it's
So,
me or you, even if we like even had the testicular fortitude, no one's been like, so how do you feel like fighting at UFC so and so?
mhm,
Uh no. No, I don't.
right.
That's how I feel. I feel no, I don't. Because I won't be feeling ever again. If I'm not killed by the embarrassment.
Yeah, as much as I love the movie Fight Club, I feel like I can go to my grave having not been punched in the face.
You know what the worst part is?
Being punched in the face?
Yeah, but not just that. The worst part is that you're CM Punk.
hmm
I get that, but I think you leaned into the fact that you're CM Punk and you didn't think maybe, okay, but what if I lose? That
Right.
never came. That never seriously crossed your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like you really thought you were gonna just walk in there and beat this guy. You literally thought that. You literally thought that when you cut the line. This is not the same as cutting the line when you're like, you know, grocery shopping or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This is cutting the line to go fight the bouncer. You know what I mean? And you're not ready, dude. You've had too much to drink.
With like $1 million payday.
Like I understand that, but how much is your reputation worth to you, right? You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? Because I think as much as you want, you're not after that. And look, I know there's gonna be. I gotta do this every time. Yeah, like Rich said, we don't want to do that. We didn't ask to do that, but
Mm-hmm.
he did. He did do that,
Mm-hmm.
and he was humiliated. He was, and now, even though a lot of people are like, oh no, we respect what he did. He's a fake tough guy. Then he's a fake tough guy for real, because he tried it out. He tried to fight, and he got outclassed. And I get it; it's different. Is it though? Because you could tell he's a fake tough guy. He's a fake tough guy because of how like indignant he got. That whole brawl out scenario. It's like, how dare this peasant Hangman Adam Page, this empty-headed fuck, as he said. How dare he?
So I think the root of the problem is both for the gripe bomb and for the UFC thing. And this is something that this is a phrase that gets thrown around. I think he really believed his own hype.
Dude, I'm telling you, those are powerful farts that he's got, that he's
Yeah,
huffing.
for real. Like he's got like a dedicated paper bag to catch and huff.
But like, dude, successful. Like there's a point system in this world, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We don't see it, but there is a number, and it's the bank account. And he's got big numbers. He's got a beautiful wife. He's super famous. All those things. No one's taken away from that. But as a person, man, you could have been the bigger man there. You just look worse. That's all. That's all. I know we keep talking about it, but it just the more I think about it, it's like you just look worse. Like Saturday Night Collision can be a decent, good, or best wrestling show, and
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk can still suck as a human being at the same time. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? CM Punk could be a great asset to the business and still be a dick at the same time is what I'm saying. You two things are true. Two things can be true. And it's
Mm-hmm.
okay, CM Punk, for people not to like you. Just like it's okay for a lot of people not to like us. The numbers don't lie. And it would be a disaster for us at Sacrifice.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeedy do. While we're on topic of AEW, how great was this week's best friends segment? I mean, by best friends, I mean MJF and Adam Cole, baby.
Honestly, the only way it could be better is if the current AEW tag team champions were best friends
Mm,
and CM Punk. I'm gonna tell you why. But Adam Cole and
baby.
MJF,
Hmm.
if they were to beat the best friends who are the tag team champions, that would make them the tag team champions and the real best friends. Like they're bester friends because they haven't even been tagging as long as best friends. And they were able to get the win
That's
fair and
right.
square.
Hmm.
Much like in AEW Fight Forever, when I played as CM Punk in Road to the Elite, and they threw me in a tag team with Hangman Adam Page. And together with Hangman Adam Page, we won the AEW Tag Team Championships by defeating the best friends. And then it turned out that Adam Page had stolen my luggage, CM Punk's luggage, and CM Punk wasn't having that and just decks him. I wonder if that's always supposed to be the pairing or if it's really random. Because in mine, I was paired with Powerhouse, but I've been paired with random wrestlers.
Hmm.
So I don't think this game was sophisticated enough where like they give you specific interactions. Like if you play as CM Punk, you know what I mean? I've been
Hmm.
skipping Rampage, so I didn't get to the part where like CM Punk challenges you to wrestle at Rampage. I
Hmm.
might have skipped it because I forgot about it. But anyway, that's the AEW Fight Forever segment. And what's
Right.
this? An unlikely team, one in their street clothes, is now tag team champions. What a story. CM Punk, I didn't like you at first, but no one can doubt we make a great team.
Your timing is actually perfect, given the delay.
I waited a little. And like
Hmm.
I like you enough that I played a little rib. I stole your luggage. Oh my god. It's under my coat in my locker. No hard feelings. What? All right, let's see what CM Punk does.
Does Kenny have like a little niece or nephew that he used to write this dialogue?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh,
It's exactly what would
fuck.
happen.
I guess there are some hard feelings after all. Has this team disbanded minutes after blah de blah disappeared?
Yes. We we are no longer the tag team champion, I guess.
I was
All
there
right.
for that.
All
I
right.
did
Back
see
to
CM
the
Punk and Hangman Page win the AEW World Tag Titles.
So yeah, watching them play the game together, that was interesting. I
Hmm.
can't confirm or deny what Adam Cole is saying, but I will say that I've enjoyed beating the bejeebus out of people who choose MJF in ranked because I he's beaten me, and yes, I have reached legend, which is the highest, and I get beat by cheesy people. I'm not talking about that here because it triggers me.
Mm.
So, so
Yeah,
forget
let's
it.
move on. Let's move on. But
Let's move on.
either way, funny segment. The bar scene was funny, and then them sitting on the couch was funny, and then it got a little cringe with MJF trying to make Adam Cole believe it
Oh, it is all. I
because
didn't have any friends.
right. And uh so it's kind of a double topic here. One, I'm with Tony Schiavone. I can't believe I'm saying that. In that
Eddie
I don't
Kingston's the greatest wrestler alive.
no, in that you should never trust MJF. But I feel like Schiavone's is he turning heel?
He consistently hates Adam Cole though, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It
He's
doesn't
getting
matter to him.
he's getting a little like cranky on commentary there.
Yeah, sometimes he is. I wonder what the deal is.
Hmm.
Maybe he's tired of getting bullied by Taz and Excalibur. They
Maybe.
bully him. He's probably like, in the behind the scenes, like, listen to me, you little fuck.
Mm.
You ever try that shit again? I will freaking kill you. And then like Britt Baker just walks by, he's like, hey Tony, he's like, oh, it's the Dr. Britt Day. That's great. Fucking tell you again. I will cut your tongue out. And then Excalibur's just got tears running down his face,
Hmm.
like down his little thing. Yeah, I know you're crying. And then it just goes like this to him
Hmm.
and he flinches.
Hmm.
That'd be amazing.
What about Dark
Let the
Order's?
real Tony out.
Yeah. Speaking of heel turns, Dark Order's quiet heel turn.
They're not heels, Rich the Riz. They are jaded. They've had their heart broken by Hangman Adam Page. They were there for him when he had nobody.
Right.
The Dark Order was there.
Hmm.
And what does Hangman Adam Page do? He does what he does, and he forgets all about them. He goes back to his elite friends,
Hmm.
his golden elite friends, as we will be referring to, because Kota Ibushi, I got that right,
That's right.
has decided to become the golden coating on the elite, and I'm getting sick and tired of these video game terms. It's like it's enough that Jericho has all these different like variations. He's like hitting X to play as Painmaker Jericho, which, by the
Mm.
way, I can't play as Painmaker Jericho in Fight Forever. It seems like a missed opportunity to unlock a character. Um, and now they got all this stuff. You got the Golden Elite, you got the regular Elite, you got the Kenny Omega sandwiches, whatever that is that I'm
Well,
making up.
I think they added Golden in there because
Because the Golden Lovers.
right, exactly. So it's just a blending of the
Because it's another
nicknames of the
tag team
tag
in there.
teams.
Because
Right.
together they're the Golden Lovers.
Right.
And the Young Bucks and Kenny
Mhm.
and Hangman are the
Right.
Elite.
Mhm.
Let's not forget that. For a while, it was indeed a threesome, but the foursome was revived.
Right, because if you exclude Kenny, you just have the Hung Bucks.
That's right. So, looks like water's under the bridge after, helping Hangman kind of beat Kenny for that belt, though.
Mhm.
So that's good. Friends do that, they forgive each other.
That's right.
You could forgive me for defeating you at Money in the Bank. All right, friends forgive each other. So,
Yeah.
nonetheless, so yeah, your answer to your question is yes. Tony Schiavone could be turning heel, or he just consistently hates Adam Cole, because Adam Cole consistently hates Tony Schiavone because they were making fun of him at the weightlifting thing. I forgot what they said about him, but like they were both in agreement that he sucks
Mhm.
because they're like, there was a guy that was had a little extra weight on him, and MJF wanted to like smack talk him or whatever, and Cole's like, "Hey man, I don't body shame,"
Mhm.
and proceeds to like put up these LBs,
Mhm.
uneven by the way, but whatever. At least it's realistic.
Mhm.
Uh, so that's what the Golden Elite there. They're going to be the ones that take on the Bullet Club. I mean, not the Bullet Club, the BBC, the news channel, and Blood and Guts, and that's going to be informative. Maybe Doctor Who will show up. I don't know. He's on the BBC, right? He's in the
Maybe.
BBC.
Maybe.
So,
And
yeah,
we have the return of Pac, the bastard.
that is the most. I was like, I get it. A lot of people were excited.
Mhm.
I'm like, him? All right, fine. I was hoping it'd be like something crazy, like he's gonna make an announcement, right? Like it's not like it's a Tony Khan announcement. It's a Don Callis, like a character in the show, announcing a guy. That
Yeah.
should be big. That should be something huge. It's like, hey, look, we got a heel that's always been a heel and has always hated Kenny Omega. Look what we got.
Mhm.
That makes sense anyway, because he hates him. And it's
That's
like,
right.
yeah, that's true. That's true. But there's nobody with a little more that hates Adam. I mean, Kenny Omega. Adam Omega, Kenny JF. Morgan Bryanson. Whatever. I know wrestling.
Right. Well, it was a way to get Pac back on TV, back in a match, in
Could have just
something
brought
that
back
does.
Death Triangle and have them do whatever.
I wonder if they're separating him from them.
Dude, I don't even know if they're gonna be there after that. All these rules that they got now, they don't like any of those.
Yeah,
Lucha Brothers?
Let's go over
Let's
those.
go over that. Yeah. What a segue that I came up with.
All right, per Yahoo Entertainment, I have a list. There are two lists here. Banned moves. These are flat out banned.
Banned.
Unprotected chair shots to the head.
That's
Cool.
good.
Shots to the back of the head. Buckle bombs. Blind moves backward into the turnbuckle, which is like a imagine a
There's other
buckle bomb.
things.
Right, anything like a buckle bomb.
Anything
Fencing.
Buckle Bomb adjacent.
Right. Fencing responses, which is defined as unnatural positioning of arms following a concussion. Basically, like, don't make the crowd think you might actually have some brain trauma.
Oh, okay.
Along with that, seizure cells. Sorry,
Oh,
Devon.
good. Sorry. Your stupid, dumb, tasteless selling to make. Shame on you, Daniel Bryanson. Shame. Good.
Spitting.
Yeah, that's maybe you shouldn't do that
Maybe rewind
unless you're
to
Carlito,
right, but
but he
maybe
can't.
you should have done that in 2020. But okay.
Mm.
Bleeding in the crowd.
I mean, for a long time, getting blood on other people has been frowned upon in most societies. So,
Right. So like sometimes it can't quite be helped, but I guess it's like, okay, well, if you're like doing a falls count anywhere match and you brawl out to the concession stand and actually get cut open, you gotta like come down through the proper way, like down the ramp. Weapons or projectiles in the crowd.
oh man, well,
Take
anything can be a weapon.
true.
Oh,
Taking
Steve Blackman can't be in an AEW crowd.
that's right.
He
He is
is
a
a
weapon.
weapon.
hmm Taking drinks or food from guests in the crowd. MJF.
Hangman,
Oh, that too.
the more
Mhm.
obvious one.
Yeah. Physical contact with the crowd. MJF.
MJF. Somebody
And,
got mad at corporate.
right. Someone made a phone call.
Yeah, somebody actually sat down and watched a thing, and they're like, "Hey, could you look at this for a second?" It's like, yeah, that's a lawsuit. We can't
Yeah.
afford that.
There is a secondary list here, and this list all needs approval for use. Spots and bumps on the ring apron and outside.
Hmm.
Table, ladder, or chair spots in and out of the ring, and they're only allowed with padding. Any elevated spots outside of the barricades, such as dives and ladder spots on stage, around the arena, and other places outside the ring.
Fair.
All pile driver and tombstone variations, including sit down drivers, inverted or poison ranas, and vertebreakers. So that's sort of a play on WWE's ban.
That's a good thing, though.
hmm
There's more.
Yeah. High risk dives or top rope moves, including 450, 630, double moonsaults, shooting star press, etc.
That's
So
it.
it can be done. You just need approval. Intentional bleeding of any sort, Mox.
What if you have carte blanche? Like maybe he has that. Like they just if it's a Moxley match, it's just he'll just ask for it and they'll just give it to him.
Yeah. Throwing people into, through, or over the ring steps, commentary table, bell table, or guardrails or barricades. I feel like they're going to have a lot of paperwork to do.
I think this is good. Not in the sense of like I don't even know what the rules at WWE are. I don't know what they need to get approved. You know what I
True.
mean?
hmm
So
Yeah, that kind of list with WWE, because WWE was around for so long, that's something that's less likely to eventually be made public.
that would be good though. This is good for AEW in that if they actually follow it, then that prevents you from having samey matches.
Right.
Right? Because it's like, well, I kind of approved so and so for this thing. You sure you want to do that? Because he'd have already done it already.
Right.
Something like that. But
True.
that would require them to focus.
hmm So, continuing the list. Chairs, pipes, kendo sticks, hammers, ring bells, bats, chains, etc., and title belts.
Just say weapons. They're all weapons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this gets
I guess my video game mind is just thinking it's like, no, just weapons. Okay.
yeah, this doesn't say ring stairs.
Oh, okay.
So
So
you
that means
can't
you
throw
can,
someone you don't you can't throw someone over the ring steps
but you can't
or
hit them with
a
them.
table without permission. But you can throw ring steps at someone without permission, or throw a table at someone without permission.
Or, yeah, sure. Yeah.
It's like letter of the law here. Okay, continuing. Thumbtacks, skewers, barbed wire, and other sharp/puncturing objects or powders, aerosols, sprays, or liquids.
Okay, good. Enough with that fire extinguisher bullshit. I wonder if Taz complained.
Maybe.
Remember they were at ringside and they're like spraying that. He's like,
Yeah. Throwing any weapons or objects.
yeah, since you can't be trusted.
Mhm. Choking/strangling with hands or a weapon or hanging spots.
Oh man, it's a good thing we got that one out the way.
Hangman.
Hey, he only did it one time to Moxley.
Right. Brander Dander.
Hmm.
I mean, we don't want Justin Roberts to have PTSD flashbacks.
No, man, for sure.
Injury spots or angles, whether or not medical is involved or called to the ring.
Okay.
Any physicality in the crowd or crowd brawling.
You can't stop them from doing it.
Well,
But
need
they don't
approval.
work for you. What?
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? Like I don't understand that.
Well, you just kick him out of the building.
Yeah, it's not like they're gonna just let them fight there. They're gonna get them out of there.
But
What
what
are
if
you
the crowd
talking about?
chants, "Let them fight, let them fight"?
When does that work?
Not
When
ever.
do they just listen to what the crowd says if you like security? You know?
Yeah, no. I think your job is to not listen to the crowd.
Exactly. It's for the safety.
Yeah, and the last thing on this list, any physicality involving referees, managers, extras, celebrities, or special guests.
Oh. No Bad Bunny?
Nope.
Oh well.
No Rick Ross.
Damn.
No
It's weird that they have to just clear stuff. No Shaq?
no Shaq.
No Shack attacks. There are no longer any Shack attacks on the menu, boys. The Shack attack is off the menu. Cody, you could come back now if you're safe now. We know you're ducking Shack. We all know.
Bro, I just had a $1 million stupid idea.
Uh, there are no stupid ideas, just
You're cutting this
stupid
out
prizes.
because I don't want someone to take this idea. Ready?
I'm waiting. Wow, Rich, what a great idea you just had. But too bad no one's ever gonna know because it's not gonna be in the podcast.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that is the entire 2 lists of band moves and things that need approval for AEW going forward.
Great, Rich. I'm gonna just take this piece of paper with all the stuff we had planned, just crumble it up, just throw it in the trash. All right, let's get into this bloodline shit and get the hell out of here. Let's go. So this week on Days of Our Bloodline, big game, big match, big deal. Jimmy Uso, Jay Uso with the spirit of Jimmy inside his body. He goes out there and he talks about Jimmy, how it's always been them. And and of course, there is always a cell, a cadre, a group of annoying jabronis who love to say what because there's a space. Shut the hell up. Save it for stuff that sucks because this stuff doesn't suck.
I feel like Jay was playing into it a little bit, and it worked because he actually has a solid delivery. Like he was doing a list, and forgive me, great one. But
The
when
Rock.
he when actually no, Austin, when Jay was doing his list, reminded me of like when Stone Cold would do a list, and the crowd would what? Jay kept the tone the same as if there was no pause and there was no what.
There is no what there.
Right.
Hmm.
It's like you can allow the what while also at the same time ignoring the what. It's as if like I'm saying I'm making a sandwich, and I'm gonna get a couple slices of bread, slice salami,
What?
some mayo. No, don't what? Or
Oh,
you can
sorry.
what? Some
Okay.
mayo, maybe some lettuce, maybe some bacon, maybe a slice of roast beef, maybe some more salami, and some more roast beef.
Let us help you
Right.
eat that sandwich.
Yeah. So, like, you can keep the flow and keep the tone. Austin would sort of monotone it a little bit,
Hmm.
but definitely play to the crowd that's whatting. And whereas if the what wasn't there and the pause wasn't there, it wouldn't sound right. Jay's delivery, it sounded right. And again, forgive me, Steve. Forgive me, great one, Stone Cold. But I think Jay delivering a list is better than Austin delivering a list.
Uh,
Austin's exciting. Jay is. It's like it's just his acting range is incredible. I'll say that.
okay. Well, I think that's fine. You're allowed that. You're allowed your opinion. I think that's fine. But I have a more important question to ask
Mhm.
because this came to my mind just now.
Mhm.
Currently, there is a writer strike and there is an actor strike.
Mm.
I could think of a couple of actors who don't got nothing to do right now, and SummerSlam is coming up. What I'm saying is, finally, The Rock has nothing to do.
Well, he has been interacting on social media with Grayson Waller, as we know.
So theoretically, The Rock could show up to SummerSlam
Mhm.
and rock bottom Grayson Waller, and Grayson Waller would have the best year than any other NXT graduate ever, I think. If you think about it,
Mhm.
Cena ate him. He wrestled Edge at the Garden.
In the
He
main
might
event,
get in the main event,
and
and
Edge said he swam.
he swam. He didn't drown. He might have peed in the pool, but the point is that he did swam.
Mhm.
Okay, that's not correct, but I said it anyway. Swam. He did swam, and that's what happened. So Grayson Waller, should he get a rock bottom from The Rock, that would be great. I'll go even further. I say first is John Cena out with Waller. He gets to AA, and then John Cena's like, Waller, you upset a lot of people with things you say. And then all of a sudden, if you smell, and it's and then everybody just loses their shit. They
Mhm.
lose their shit. And then, even if it's not really happening there, we could do the breadcrumbs, baby. We could have The Rock walk past Roman Reigns or something, the tribal chief, or like walk past Jay, or you could see The Rock talking to Jay in the background somewhere or something. Like, there's so many possibilities to set stuff up.
They could even make it a little more subtle and just show in the background Rock talking to Sammy.
Yeah, you could do that.
Mhm.
Um, but I was thinking family,
Right. Mhm.
and I get it. It's what eh, the thing with Sammy is like because we talked about it before, where it's like we thought, like I think that part is done for now to focus more on what's happening with the turmoil, like you were talking about last week.
Right.
So, uh, maybe, but I think it would be very interesting because it's like it could be more than one instance after because it could be like one of those like maybe they open. Nah, if you're gonna have the Rocket John Cena, that's like a mid-level, middle of SummerSlam. That's like after we do the attendance numbers. That's like get everybody excited.
Yeah,
So
that's the you don't want to go to the concession stand for this.
yeah, that kind of thing. So either way, I'm excited about that. The potential for that.
Mhm.
Oh my god, dude, it would be the best. It would be the move.
So
Take
Grayson Waller
advantage.
would probably arguably have the best first year on the main roster since Kevin Owens.
Yeah, but I think there's different kinds.
Hmm.
I think, like notoriety wise, being in high profile spots with these legends, as opposed to beating John Cena
Hmm.
for the United States Championship, I believe, or was it just regular? He just beat John Cena on Monday Night Raw. Kevin Owens, right? Because he was the NXT champion, I believe.
He was the NXT champion, and so I remember.
He did win, right?
I
He
think
beat
his
John Cena.
first Kevin Owens' first appearance, it was on a Raw. Maybe it was SmackDown. Okay, so I won't say which show because I don't remember. Um,
I think it's Raw.
I think he just came out, hit the buckle bomb on or the pop up power bomb on Cena, and distinctly remember him stepping on the U.S. title, and that was a thing. That was a big thing.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
don't
he
know
beat him
if
in his debut.
yeah. So I think the following week was when Owens took the U.S. title from Cena.
Yeah. But he definitely beat him.
Let me
So
know. Let me know if our memories are wrong.
they
You know where
are.
to, yeah, you know where to hit us up. We are wrong.
Yeah.
All right.
We're always wrong
Okay.
until we're not wrong. But we are
Great.
right a lot
Yeah.
until we're not right a lot. But we
Correct.
are.
Yes.
So we have the documentation. We have like 489 plus episodes.
Yeah.
Jesus. We are about 11 episodes away from episode 500.
It's a
The
big one.
Basement Bookers podcast, episode 500.
It's
Oh
11
my
weeks.
God.
So it's like give or take mid-October.
Yeah. Wonder what mid level premium live event we'll be talking about then. Could be anything.
Could be anything. Oh,
Yeah.
probably
Whatever
maybe it
whatever it
might
is
be a
before
preview.
Survivor Series.
Yeah, it might be a preview for Halloween Havoc.
Maybe. Hopefully it'll give us something to work with.
Exactly.
So, The Rock aside. So not only that, but Paul Heyman and Solo came out.
That's
And
right.
Solo wasn't there to, he was there for something.
Hmm. He was there to
Uh,
keep the peace.
that's right. And Paul Heyman said some stuff in Samoan.
He
And
said
then,
the four tribe names, family names.
right, he said Samoan words. And
Hmm.
then Solo put his hand out like the tribal chief does for the microphone.
Hmm.
Does he have clearance for that?
You gonna tell him he doesn't?
I don't know. I would hate for him to welcome me to his house. Um,
Yeah, check out the Facebook's Twitter for what that is.
okay, so here we have, and there he is.
There he is, the scariest member of the Bloodline.
And he's singing, "Welcome to my house. We don't have to go out." Rich Torres, you go ahead, buddy. I know you got a lot to say right now.
So I don't know if the Book of Verse remembers. I'm sure you do. When that was the song for WrestleMania, I believe it was a Mania.
Yes,
So I had a friend of mine over to watch WrestleMania that year. You might have been there also.
I was there.
Okay. See, so I was still drinking at the time. This is one of my last drunken WrestleManias,
Don't try this
and
at home.
this is a don't try this at home. And I knew the song would play 100 times during WrestleMania because that's what they do. And I said, "Oh, I'm gonna play a drinking game every time they play the song. I'm gonna take a shot." I don't remember the second half of that WrestleMania.
Every WrestleMania, they play it over and over again, and you thought it'd be a smart idea, you psycho.
Well, literally,
That day was crazy.
that. What did I do? Did I do anything stupid besides that?
No, but stupid stuff happened.
Okay.
Um, your fridge broke. I
Is
think
that?
that was that day, or was that another
Oh,
day?
the bar.
What, the drinks just spilt on the floor or whatever? It just like
Okay.
shattered or whatever. I
Well,
don't remember.
because the bar on the shelf, like the
Oh, that
little.
holds the drinks. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Right.
yeah, there's a shelf in the door, right, and there's a plastic bar across it, and it was like already broken. I had actually taken a couple pieces of like good cardboard and like taped it up to hold it, but the weight of all the drinks that happened to be there that day was a bit too much, and I guess people were maybe letting the door close too heavy, whatever, and they opened it and a bunch of drinks fell out. Is my guess what happened.
Good times. Good times.
But I remember hating that fridge, hating that bar for a long, long, long time. And that was not the first time, nor was it the last time that happened. It was the first time and only time it happened with people over.
Now you could look back on it and anyway, that was this thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead, Rich, after the microphone thing. We're on that now with Solo. He got the microphone, he said some stuff, you know. That's
Right.
that's
So just to also go back on what you said, obviously, if Solo didn't have clearance for that, Heyman wouldn't have given him the mic.
I don't know. He looked startled. Like, what's he supposed to do? Not give it to him? He's the only one there.
But if he doesn't have clearance for it, what happens if Heyman doesn't give him the mic? Because certainly he doesn't have clearance to put his hands on Paul Heyman, the wise man.
Honestly, I don't know. You're kind of destroying my narrative here.
All
I
right.
think plot armor. I think.
Okay.
I
hmm
think Paul Heyman has plot armor because the
Okay.
story doesn't call for it.
Right. Right. Plot armor. So let's move on from that. So Solo
Like
says
for
his
years,
thing.
the plot armor of Roman Reigns has been the bloodline, which is why he's like unable to be beaten.
Right.
So now that's kind of got like kind of rusting.
hmm So Solo finally gives us his perspective on his beatdown of Jimmy Uso, and it's because of Jay. Solo loves his brother. Solo will never forgive Jay for making him, Solo, do what he did. I can't believe I said that to Jimmy. Solo will never forgive Jay for making him put Jimmy in the hospital.
Look what you made me do. That's that argument that they had. Look what you made me do.
Right.
You made me
So
do this.
Solo is full in on the tribal chief and the bloodline.
You say that, but maybe he's got his own plans. Maybe Solo's got his own plans. You know, a lot of people, they look at Solo as a guy that spikes people in the throat and they're still selling it, Rich Holland. And, you know,
Very good, very good.
you think maybe he's not a thinker. He might be one of those thinking savages. And that's the scariest kind.
That's right.
Plague is, you know, uh, theoretically eating all the shit, you know, that the
hmm
tribal chief happens to throw out. And
hmm
just like, you know, it's headed there eventually, right?
Yeah.
You know, we'll see what happens after the tribal chief successfully retains his championship against Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso.
hmm
Rich Derez, we are approaching 400 days, or it is 400 days, something like that, for Gunter. Like he's got a few days or something before he's the longest reigning intercontinental champion of the modern era.
hmm
And that's something.
He's already the
So,
longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of this century.
right. but it's time. It's time to make it happen. Yes. Hopefully, Drew doesn't stop him before then, because it
Right.
feels like this is where they're headed. I don't think Drew signed on not to get the Intercontinental Championship. I don't know. Then
I don't
again,
know
maybe
either.
I think you know what I think. I think he sent out feelers, and it wasn't enough money. It just wasn't enough money. I bet you.
I
I'm pretty
don't.
sure. You don't think so? You don't think Drew like maybe talk to Cesaro, cast Claudio, be like, hey man, what can I talk to this guy? And it's like, you're not allowed to, but it's like, what theoretically, I know a guy. How much would you be willing to? It's like, well, we got this and this. And he's like, yeah, but I've seen what you do with your guys. I think I'm still good here.
Yeah, I don't know if that would even have been a conversation. For instance, look at well, okay, so Lance Archer has been in Japan for a while and doing
He's
other
been
things.
murder hawk monstering all over the place, all around the world.
Right. He doesn't do a lot in AEW TV. We've barely seen Wardlow, and Wardlow has plot right now, right?
He did, yeah. He lost the belt to a dinosaur man.
Yeah, Hobbs isn't on much. Even Luchasaurus isn't on much. Like we get him
Hobbs
like
is a
every other week.
collision guy now.
Yeah. Um, Brian
He used to be,
Cage.
yeah, Brian Cage. Yeah, that's. But Drew McIntyre is no Brian Cage, and Brian Cage is no Drew McIntyre.
Do you think Drew McIntyre will
Sometimes
get more TV time after 3 or 4 months of being there than Brian Cage and Luchasaurus and Wardlow
he
and
should.
Lance Archer?
He should. I don't think he would. Like he's a star, dude. Like
I agree.
he's huger than anyone they have.
I 100% agree. I just don't think I think that because of that Drew wouldn't have really considered it as a serious viable option.
I see.
He slummed it in Impact after he was fired from WWE, after he had already done some big things on the indies and made a name for himself as a reliable guy and someone that looks the part. He changed his physique a lot. He changed his look, grew out his hair more, grew his chest hair, became the Scottish psychopath, and then went back to WWE, NXT, did the favors there for Andrade when he was coming up.
Sure.
Had the bicep injury. That was when I think Adam Cole and Fish and O'Reilly debuted. No, it wasn't.
That was at a takeover where they came.
It was. It was at a Brooklyn takeover. We were there with Tim,
Yeah, that's the only reason we know.
with the beard himself. And it came up with with Dolph Ziggler. I want to say Miz, but he's not Miz. With Dolph Ziggler, Scottish
Holy shit!
psychopath.
Yeah.
Right.
If you wanted a Scottish psychopath fucking history lesson, it's here.
Right. So basically, what I'm saying is Drew's star is higher now than it was before he left WWE the first time.
Uh-huh.
I think if he decides he's not doing WWE now, he's going to go act. I don't
Not
think it'll
anytime soon he is.
right. So he just signed, right?
No,
But
you can't. There's an actor strike. You're not
right.
nobody's allowed to do anything really. They can't even promote their own movies now. They can't do
It's
shit. They can't do
crazy.
anything. No award show, no red carpets, no interviews, fucking nothing. Nothing. The fools. All you had to be were adult pretenders, and you had to get greedy. And now you get what you deserve.
I'm going to
Yeah.
say this real quick.
Wrestling's forever.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, actors, actresses, you're great at your
Members
job. You're
of the
very
Film Actors
entertaining.
Guild.
Right. You're very entertaining. You give us things make us laugh, make us cry, this, that, the other. I don't think you have any right to be making more than a brain surgeon, an oncologist, an EMT, because those people save lives. You enhance our lives, but you're not saving it.
On a rare occasion, you will. Rare occasion, but not like immediate life saving. Like I'm gonna die. You know. I need you to do this heart surgery, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
You were on Thunder in Paradise. Yeah, brother, but I didn't do any surgery, brother. But you make so much more than a doctor.
Right. Don't be so greedy.
Yeah, basically.
And the problem starts at the top because the
Oh,
movie,
yeah.
like, if a movie grosses $100 million, right? I don't even know what the threshold is at the moment. If a movie
Right.
grosses $100 million, it has everything trickles down, and it's like less trickles down the further down you are. So,
Yeah,
like, the
like not
executive,
everybody's Tom Cruise money though. Like there's actors that need these gigs, you know.
right? So it's like executives and the top stars and directors. Then it's like the screenwriters and this and that and the other. And then
Don't forget about the studio heads. Yeah.
right. And like lower down is like the union guys, like the gaffer, the electrician, the just the guys running the cables, literally putting your damn set together.
That's right, Rich there is. And much like Hollywood being on fire, the music scene's on fire, Rich there is. I think we
Mm,
should close on a positive note. We on AEW, this is remember, there was a music video,
there was.
and it's probably the best looking music video in the history of AEW, I think.
Yeah, I
She's
agree.
not bad.
She's very good. So she did along with Scarlett, she did Scarlett's song.
Okay.
There
All
was
right.
a while back, her and Scarlett and Shotzi released a song together, or her, Scarlett, and someone else. I don't remember.
No, yeah, I know something like that. There was always someone else, and I guess she was the someone else because it's
Yeah.
like people we knew, and then
Hmm.
this person. It's like okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know why people are giving her shit though. It's good. Like it's a good video. She's got something there, right? I don't know. That's
I
some good
agree. I wonder if it's just people.
lyricisms.
I wonder if it's just wow. She doesn't even have her own Wikipedia. That's unfortunate.
Dude, it's about to pop off. It's a renaissance. It's a sky blue renaissance.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. Oh, she was trained by Sean Spears and Tyler Breeze.
All right, so she's a good wrestler then, potentially.
And yes,
Potentially.
in 2022, last year, she, along with Shotzi and Scarlett, released a cover of "I Put a Spell on You."
Finally, we know who the other one is.
No, now
And
we
that
know who the
makes
other one
sense
is.
because there's 3 witches in that do that song that they did that in the Hocus Pocus movie. There's this Hocus Pocus movie, and they have that song, and there's 3 of them in there,
There you go.
and there's 3
And
here.
credit to prowrestling.fandom.com. She is married to Xyon Quinn.
He sucks
He
though.
doesn't.
Like,
Uh,
no, I
he
mean like,
needs writing.
okay, I'm not saying he sucks because that's his girlfriend,
Wife.
wife for now. You know, until she meets somebody with an actual personality. That's what I mean. Like,
Oh,
as far as I could,
kayfabe.
yeah, I
Kayfabe.
right, right. His TV guy, right? The TV guy.
Uh-huh.
Like, if that's supposed to be you turned up to 11, you got to hit the switch on, though, right? Or else you're not turned on at all. It's almost like just nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, he looks like one of those guys that would just get pushed. Like the appearance, right?
Yeah.
Like he's handsome, he's put together, he's a big guy, and
Mhm.
just loses all the time. He's got no personality on TV to speak of. It's like,
He's got 2 out of 3. He's got the
yeah,
look and he's got the in-ring ability. It's just where's
I'd
the
say
substance?
he's like he's Baron Corbin, but if like Baron Corbin was a handsome man,
Hmm.
you know, but Baron Corbin actually has some kind of personality that he was able to develop later.
Yeah.
You know, when he was a lone wolf, he was basically Xyon Quinn, but not as good looking.
Hmm.
So,
Right. So Xyon Quinn is Australian. He's a former rugby player.
so more reasons for me not to talk about him anymore. All right. Well, I don't want to get beat up by the guy.
Right. So I feel like
Good
it, the,
pull.
for real, but I feel like there's a disconnect because like he comes out like he does this whole like Samoan Tongan like tribal thing when he comes out, but and he looks like he could be and maybe he is, but because the Pro Wrestling Fandom page says he's Australian, maybe it's him just playing a part, playing up the look, and it's not real.
I don't
I don't know. He's
know.
certainly
Maybe
not
he's
part of the
like a
bloodline. I know
tribe.
that much.
Maybe he's a member of another tribe. You know,
Could
like
be.
there's tribal people in Australia. You know,
Hmm.
they have the Aborigines.
Hmm.
They got other stuff I don't want to be insensitive about. You know, we have listeners from all over the world.
That's right. We do.
So
We
speaking of
see you,
listeners
South
from all over
Korea.
the world,
We
that's
see
right.
you.
I think we need to go because
All
it's an
right.
hour and a half. I
Mm.
just needed to make sure we talk about her. There might even be a photo. Look at that. Oh my goodness. So yeah. Check out the link tree below for all the Basement Bookers socials. We thank you for coming by, hanging out. You know, this is really what we do. We just bullshit about whatever comes up. And if this is something for you, we would love it if you were to subscribe. It helps something. If you get enough, you can get money. And I would like for me and Rich the Riz to have money. Please, we have a families. All right. So, Rich, you could do the thing.
All right. As always, Jer's got a party message for you.
Match of life schedule for a one fall. So make it count.
Do what the man says.
Follow the Booker.